Dictation 35 MSD 1, 100 words per minute. Mr. Vice Chairman, I rise to speak on the finance bill with sadness in my heart. Sadness because a splendid opportunity has been lost by the government to give the much needed boost to the economy of the country. That the economy was poised for a rapid growth is known to students of Indian economy, and that we need this rapid growth of the economy very badly also cannot be denied. The obstacle in the way, unfortunately, has been the policy of the government on the economic front, and the last budget has proved that the government has not taken any lesson from its past mistakes and has not changed its policies which would bring about the desired growth in the economy and allow us to reach the goal of eradication of poverty in this country in as short a time as possible. Sir, the budget is a clever exercise in presenting what is good for the ruling party as being good for the country. The Prime Minister claims to have provided new incentives for savings and investment, but what exactly are the cold and hard facts? The high and constantly rising prices have made it practically impossible for the middle classes to save or invest in any appreciable scale. It is only the upper crust of the middle class which has any ability to save, and it is precisely against this section that the axe of the income tax has been repeatedly wielded, eroding to a considerable extent savings and private investment on the high-sounding plea of social justice, but in reality in a bid for cheap popularity. The Prime Minister has sharply increased the rates of income tax on slab of income having any substantial saving or investment potential, and yet she would have us believe that her budget is generally concerned with the promotion of savings in the community. The quantum of savings is determined by the ability to save as well as the willingness, but sadly enough, neither this ability nor this willingness is likely to be stimulated in personal taxation. Sir, before I go further, I would like to discuss a little about the current theory which the government subscribes to about taxing at a very high rate incomes above a certain level. It is said that above a certain level of income, the savings cannot be that of the individual but must be that of the community. The community must be benefited by the higher income above a certain level, but what exactly happens? What happens is that above the certain level that is fixed by the government, the savings of the community are diverted to the coffer of the government, but in the process the community does not benefit because these savings of the individuals which become tax collections in the hands of the government are unfortunately squandered away on public sector projects of the government which do not yield either proper return on the capital employed or even the desired production. Sir, 60 days have passed since the budget was presented, and we are now going through the constitutional ritual of appropriation bill. Sir, when you were speaking, you spoke about the economic situation and other things. I do not want to repeat all those things. The economic situation is drifting, is becoming very bad. The Prime Minister says, don't ask for more wages, ask for more jobs. The prospect is neither there are jobs nor there are more wages. Everywhere modern technology is used. Computerization is used to reduce the working force. Prices are shooting up. The inflation rate is going up. They may cook up statistics and publish them. Don't depend on those statistics. That will be my advice to the finance minister. The economic situation is drifting very badly, but it is a boon to the big monopoly houses and the multinationals. They are minting money. How this miracle happened when the whole country is passing through such a serious crisis? Sir, you have given some of the clauses, so I leave it at that. But I will advise the government not to think in terms of confrontation with the working class. Everywhere there is confrontation. Only for lip sympathy they speak of cooperation. What is it that I am expected to cooperate with you? I represent the working class of this country. How am I to cooperate with you when you are pursuing a policy exactly opposite to the interests of the working class? Am I to cooperate with the government so that it can easily cut my throat? That is not the way of seeking cooperation. Similar is the position with respect to the opposition parties. What is the way in which the government is seeking their cooperation when you are creating trouble in West Bengal, Assam? This should not be the method of the government in dealing with the working class or the employees. No government, however powerful it may be, can succeed crushing the working class of the country. Another point is our country cannot afford to indulge in all the modern technologies. In the case of defense, it will be necessary, but in the case of other industries, the available manpower must be used. The poverty is growing, the unemployment is growing, and at the same time, there is no prospect of any growth in the employment potential in this country. So the government's economic policy requires a serious review. Did the government have the courtesy to place the sixth five-year plan before the House for discussion? Why this indifference to Parliament? They say that they believe in parliamentary democracy. The draft was not placed before the House for discussion. It was straightaway approved by the National Development Council. Now they are going to spend us as they like and allow multinationals and the smugglers and the other corrupt officials to loot the country. Give us more opportunity to discuss the economic policies and take lessons from our criticism.
अगर आपको हमारा डिक्टेशन अच्छा लगता है, पसंद आता है, तो आप हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें, जिससे कि आने वाला नोटिफिकेशन सबसे पहले आपको मिल सके।